What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and today we're going to be talking about the the top tiers of the NBA, and we're going to be talking about the lower tiers of the NBA. Just having an overall tier list of all the teams. If ands or buts, just all of it. So there's one thing I do want to add. There's also a tier that I want to add real quick. It is going to be a tier below S, but a tier below above A, and this is the A plus category. This is going to be the teams that I think that could make the finals, but I don't think that they're going to make the championship run. I don't think that they're going to be one of the teams that are going to hold up the Larry O'Brien by the end of the year. So, yeah. So let me just do that. We got a lot of teams to talk about, and I'm probably just gonna rush through a lot of them. Yeah, so these are the probably lottery teams, play-in teams, lower playoff or lower like play in. Well, these are play in teams, but these are high play in, low playoff teams. These are playoff teams, and of course, these are finals teams, and these are contenders. Milwaukee, I think, is a contender. No point in explaining that. These guys, the Clippers, are also contenders. Where are they? The Warriors are also contenders. Again, they're the reigning champions, so it makes no sense for me not to have them there. And there's gonna be another couple of contenders that I have, but I'll wait to put them there when we get there. So right now, I'm just gonna rank off a lot of the teams that we could see be like in the lower tiers. So I think a team that we could put in the lottery is this team. We could also put this team here. This is only because Shy and Chet are both injured right now, and Chet is gonna miss the whole season. So yeah, I think the Orlando Magic could be a high playing team. I think the Toronto Raptors, I think they're gonna be a high play-in team or a very very low playoff team. I mean like the sixth seed, by the way. So the reason why I have Toronto this low compared to their last year is because I think that they're starting to stagnate their roster a little bit. I think that Pascal and Fred VanVleet are perfect the way that they are, but I don't think that they're going to be competitive with the Eastern Conference that's gotten even better. The Brooklyn Nets are going to have Ben Simmons. The Celtics are the Celtics, even though the Ime Udoka situation is weird. The Sixers got better. The Chicago Bulls were one of the main seeds until they got injured. We have the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, Atlanta Hawks now, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just think that this team is starting to be in the back end of the Eastern Conference, and you don't really want to see that. So Phoenix, I don't think that they can make the finals, but I do think that they're going to be a mid playoff team. They're probably going to be the fourth, fifth seed, maybe even the sixth seed. I don't think that there's much for me to say that I haven't already said about this team. This is a hot take. I think the New Orleans Pelicans do have the chance to make the NBA Finals and win it, but there's so much things that I don't think that could go in their way that makes it so that I could stamp it. However, I do think at their top, they're probably right here, but I'll probably put them right here. I could definitely see them making the finals. So yeah, Sixers. I really debated on doing this, but I think that the Sixers have a legitimate top five player in the league. In my opinion, early top three player. If you asked me earlier in the season, yeah. Miami, y'all have heard what I've said about Miami. Chicago is another team that's very rough on me because the Lonzo Ball situation in the first place is horrible. You don't want to be in that situation, so it's going to be looking bad for that roster. And I think that DeMar is going to have a down year, and I think that Zach LaVine is not going to be as good with the knee stuff. So I don't know. So yeah, the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'll wait to rank them actually. The Rockets could be a low and playing team. Also, what I mean by playing team, I don't necessarily mean, oh, this team is going to make the playoffs, while this team is just going to be exited the play. No, I just think that both these teams are going to be rather in the play-in. If not, this team has a chance to be in a high or a low playoff spot. So, yeah. Utah Jazz are going to be cheeks. They don't have anything on the roster. Knicks are probably going to be over here. They did get Jalen Brunson, so I can't really put them down here. but I don't think that they have enough around RJ Barrett or Jalen Brunson for me to justify that. Same with the Sacramento Kings. I don't think that they have enough around De'Aaron Fox. However, De'Aaron Fox after the Monte Sabonis trade, he was unlocked, and I may make an Instagram post about that. So yeah, Detroit Pistons could also be a low playing seed. The San Antonio Spurs could also be a low playing seed. These guys could also be a low playing seed. Also, if there's more overlap between these guys than these guys, I'm sorry. There's just so many good teams in the NBA. So let me just start making tough decisions. The Portland is probably going to be over here. As much as I think that Portland's going to not be the best, they're probably still going to be all right with Damian Lillard. So, yeah. I'll probably put the Hornets over here. All right, now that I did this, I'm confident in doing this. I want a little bit less Eastern Conference teams in here. So I also bumped the Magic down because Markelle Fultz is also still suffering from injuries. So, yeah. Also, this actually worked out perfectly. I like this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we don't want that. I'll put Minnesota over here. I'll put the Memphis Grizzlies up here. I think that this team, I need to see a little bit more on the court for me to bump them up. I think that they have the potential to be up here, but I need to see a little bit more on court. I'll probably bump. What teams do I bump down? Definitely the Sacramento Kings. Houston Rockets or the San Antonio Spurs. I'm sorry. I'll probably bump this team down. Do I? Yeah, I got to. And then I'll bump. You know what? Let me check this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, I think this is perfect then. I think that this is perfect. Now for the Eastern Conference team, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Deni Avdija will be really good on this team this year, but I can't stamp it, man. This is what I'm looking like right now. Do I really like this list? No. Let me change one thing. Atlanta, I don't think that they have enough defense. Even if I do see them play out really well, I just don't think that they have enough defense on the roster to really just maximize a guy like Trae Young, a guy like DeJounte Murray, especially on the offensive end. So, yeah, I can't do that. I think now this isn't ordered right now. If I were to order this, I like this. Okay. I think this is perfect for me. These are interchangeable. I switch on the Nuggets and the Warriors every day. But I think that the rest of the list is perfectly fine. This is ordered, this is ordered, this is ordered, and this is ordered now. Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is probably the perfect order for me. The only reason why the Celtics are this low, not up here, is because I'm not sure how their coaching situation is going to look over the next couple of years. So, yeah, I think that this is it. Let me just go over why some teams are over here, some teams are over there. Let me just check the minutes real quick. 5 minutes to explain this stuff. So, let me do this real quick. So, when we have the Clippers, I think that they just have a really good roster from top to bottom. I think that they're probably the best team in the NBA when it comes to their whole roster, and I just think that that's something that a lot of people just can't say about their rosters. And if you really want to look at how good some of these players are, look no further than the depth chart of the Los Angeles Clippers. They just have too many people on the roster who do too many different things. And yeah, Milwaukee Bucks, the former reigning NBA champions behind the Golden State Warriors this year. There is not really much to be said. If they're healthy, there's a good chance that they actually do win it. So, yeah. Similar to the Clippers, I think that the Denver Nuggets do have a lot of roster spots from top to bottom to make it look like they have a lot on their team. They have a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They have a guy like Ish Smith now. A little bit more playmaking, a little bit more defense. That's what you really want around Nikola Jokic. And I think that it's not overstated about how much Jamal Murray and Michael Porter will just contribute to this offense and maybe even defense. So, yeah, Golden State, we don't need to talk about. The Memphis Grizzlies are one of the most up and coming teams in the NBA. We should not be surprised if they actually do hold up to Larry O'Brien. A guy like John Morant is already going off. Once a guy like Desmond Bain goes off, it's over. The 76ers, we know about Joel Embiid. I think a lot of people are going to bump this down and maybe move up the Celtics. And honestly, I do think that the Celtics are a better team, but like again, the Ime Udoka situation, the coaching situation, I'm not sure how the chemistry is looking over there. So, yeah, that's the reason why they're only down here. Cleveland, I think that I could bump them up if I really wanted to, but I want to see how this young roster really interacts in the playoffs. Again, this is their first time being in the playoffs, and I have 100% confidence that they will make it. Like, y'all, I could stamp it right now. I would probably like pay money to make sure that these guys are gonna make it. So, yeah, another team I'm very convinced with is the New Orleans Pelicans. There's nothing else I need to say. I could probably just pull up Zion's stats, and I said enough. That's all I need to say. The Boston Celtics, who the former or the reigning Eastern Conference champions. There's not much I need to say there. The Brooklyn Nets, I don't know, man. I'm just giving them faith this year. That's pretty much the reason why they're up here. But if I were to just rank them, I'm not sure if I would have them high, especially looking at a team like the Atlanta Hawks, who have a little bit more upside than these guys in terms of their ceiling. And yeah, so the Minnesota Timberwolves, they acquired a guy like Rudy Gobert. However, I think that another thing that not enough people are stating is that they did give up some of their best defensive players in this trade. So it could look very sideways in the next couple of years, which is something that we should talk about. But yeah, I mean, they're doing what they're doing. Depending on how good a guy like Anthony Edwards goes, they could even bump up over here. But the problem is we don't know about that, and I'm not sure how not Joel Embiid, but Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert will mesh on the court. So, yeah, Atlanta Hawks. I did 2 videos about them already. Y'all know how I feel about them. The Miami Heat, same thing. Phoenix Suns, same thing. All these teams, well, more so Miami and Phoenix. These teams are not really improving within their roster. However, other teams are just vastly overlapping them. A team like Dallas, for example, has beaten Phoenix before. And while I don't think that Phoenix is necessarily the worst team, I think that depending on the matchup, they could get stifled. And once they get stifled, it's over. And we're just going to see that a little bit more often. A team like Miami, same thing. But with the Atlanta Hawks, I think we have a team where they have enough balance of offense and enough defense for me to be like, okay, yeah, they definitely will make the playoffs. However, I'm not sure how good they are compared to some of these other teams. When we look at how their defense is structured, we have to look at a guy like Onyeka Okongwu. We really just need to see how good he is going forward. So I think that could be a really big piece going forward, but not right now. Chicago, they were definitely the 1 seed earlier in the last year, but there's something that I think that this team is missing. I just can't put my finger on it. A real defensive big man. But other than that, there's also something else I feel like this team is missing. Dallas is missing a whole lot of things. They need a co-star on Luka. However, I do think that Christian Wood could be enough. And if he is, they're up here. No doubts, no ifs, ands, or buts. Luka is him. All right, I think that this is probably the last team I'm going to talk about, and that's the Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers. The reason why I have them this low is because I still don't think that the roster is really well constructed around LeBron being the best player in the world. That being said, I don't think that he's the best player in the world. But if you were to say, oh, LeBron is the best player in the world, they're not building around that. They're building around AD. They're building around Russ and his fit in this roster. They're not building around point guard LeBron James, which was the best player in the world. And now they're just straying away from that. They're straying away from everything that made them successful in the first place. And now they are looking at a 9th to 10th seed every year until Russ gets traded or until they find out a very, very good long-term future with both Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and some Roman. So, yeah, that's it for me. It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and I hope you guys are having a great one.